Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 29th. This week, definitely check out astrojar.com for more awesome readers and astrologers. Let's see what we have coming up for you this week. You start off with the Ace of Hearts. You have 3 people showing up in your reading as well, so definitely could be some messages coming in at this time. Could even be love coming in for you at this time. I would say in the form of a earth sign, which could be good for you, actually, I think, right now. Definitely. So some of you might have an admirer. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this is mostly a card of messages, hearing messages from home, wherever you're from, or hearing messages from your family, or even spending time with your family at this time. So it could be a good week for family events and things like that. Let's see, great card of transformation as well. So a lot of you could be going through some, let's see, what do we have here? Some of you could be going through transformations. I would say mostly mental transformations. And again, I think that pretty much all the water signs are going through, brain changes, mostly mental changes and things at this time, mostly changing the things that they believe in, and also literal learning. I think a lot of the water signs are learning new things, and probably maybe even some of you are learning about psychology and things like that. So very interesting. Next, you have the Jack of Diamonds. Again, like I said, this can represent an admirer, somebody who's interested in you, and I think that some of you, it could be, like I said, an earth sign, which I think would be good for you at this time. And for the rest of you, I think it's just representing money, better money coming in this week, and new money coming in at this time. I also think there's a message here about just things changing very quickly. I think that this could be very kind of like a good thing for you. I would say that if any of you are making any quick changes, that definitely just make sure you're very focused this week and stay very focused. This isn't necessarily a bad card, but you just have an interesting combination coming in this week, and just even the messages I'm getting, I think that there could be some sort of really quick changes happening for you. I think it's going to be very important that you pay attention so that nothing kind of like negative happens. I don't think anything will happen negative, but I think if you're just not paying attention, if you get lazy or something this week, then things could go in a more definitely could go in a more negative direction for you. But it's a great card of intelligence, being very intelligent and smart. It's a card of having fun while you're making these changes. So I definitely like to see that. But again, I just think the message is stay focused this week, that things are changing quickly, probably for the much more positive things, but I think you need to stay on top of things at the same time. Next, you have the Queen of Spades. Queen of Spades can represent kind of needing to jump into something. So again, needing to start something new. As I always say, jump into darkness so that you can kind of like get things going. And it is a card of a risk, taking a risk at this time, but also a card of attention. Funny enough, a card of paying attention to things, needing to pay attention to things at this time. For some of you, it could represent you. What else do we have here? Yeah, I think for some of you, it could represent you stepping up into a leadership position, or kind of becoming more of an authority, which definitely seems to be a long-term water sign message for a lot of you. That's pretty much all I'm getting there. Next, Eight of Spades. Definitely, like I said, pay attention this week. Eight of Spades can represent injury, getting injured, or something happening. Actually, this has been a long-term message for you, Cancer. You've had messages of needing to be careful of your back in the past, I seem to remember, and things like that. So definitely take care of yourself at this time. This can also be a card of just like work. You can say that you are working a lot. Sometimes I think like when you get onto something, when something starts working for you in your life, you kind of put everything you got into it. So make sure you're getting plenty of rest and things like that. Even the Jack of Diamonds can represent like working a lot. It can say that you are putting in a lot of work into something, but it can also say you need to make sure to like socialize, have friends, and all this. Eights represent socialization, like just eats on the surface. If we remove the suit, they just represent socializing, getting together with friends, going to parties and things like that. So I think that there needs to be a balance here this week between basically work and play, or, whatever you're working on and needing to have fun and things like that. Next, you have the Nine of Clubs, very good card of achievements and recognition, achieving some sort of, something. Very good card, one of my favorite cards in the deck. It's a card to me that represents opportunities. It says that you have the opportunities, you have the chances this week to really do something really great and really special, but you have to take advantage of those opportunities. I think that just judging by everything that's going on here, a lot of you will take advantage of these opportunities. I think a lot of you will take advantage of things. I think also with this card, it can be a card of like maybe needing to break some rules, needing to kind of, needing to kind of do something that maybe you wouldn't normally do. I would say, I'm not talking about anything like overly bad or anything illegal or something like that, but I'm just saying, you might need to kind of like bend some rules this week to get something to kind of work. I also am getting the message that I think some of you feel like you're going to be disappointing somebody in your life, and by making some sort of change, but I think that what the right change to make is in the first place, so you should just do it anyway, regardless of what the disappointment is. I think that's a big challenge, even in the astrology. I was looking at something the other day, and it's kind of escaped me, but I don't remember what I was looking at. But I was like, that's pretty interesting. What I was thinking about and what I saw was that basically I think that there has been a lot of external pressure from people in our lives. And, we feel like we have to live up to these expectations. We always feel like this, but I think that with the astrology, there's like extra pressure that was kind of like forcing us over the past few years to really feel like we have to live up to like other people's expectations. Probably mostly for water and earth signs, is what I was kind of remembering. But I think that's kind of lifting, and I think people are like, wait a minute, I don't want to like live up to those expectations, or I don't want to necessarily live like my parents and things like that. You could have these thoughts popping into your head, or you could say, I'm very different than my parents and all this other stuff, and maybe that's okay. And I think you could be making those changes at this time. Next, you have the Jack of Spades. I feel like that for some of you, this could be you dealing with your children or a difficult child. Maybe some of you have a difficult child. But again, I think you need to, I think that there's probably something you're not seeing there. So again, if any of you are having problems with your child, a child or children, and for some reason behavior issues is popping into my head. So I guess if you have a child that's having behavior issues, then, I think that there's something else there that you're just not seeing. So definitely, talk to your children or try to figure that out. For others of you, I feel like that this could be actually an admirer. What else do we have here? Yeah, we have the Ace of Hearts. So some of you could have somebody who's interested in you at this time. And I also think for others of you, this could be you dealing with resources and looking at your resources at this time. And finally, you have the Eight of Clubs, which doesn't want to come up here. Card of confusion. Can be a card of dealing with confusing issues and things. This card just says, trust your intuition this week, and trust your kind of gut feelings on things, and I would say don't question it. For others of you, I think this is you kind of like looking at like all the difficulties that you've overcome, and kind of being like, wow, I overcame a lot. I really did kind of overcome a lot of difficulties at this time, and a lot of you could be feeling very good about that. So thank you for watching, and enjoy your week.